Never look at the price tag on something. Never, until you decide you're going to get it. We let our present position dictate what we want. Pay close attention. Any idea that's held in the mind, any idea, doesn't matter what it is, any idea that's held in the mind, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered. Ask any farmer, they will tell you. You plant it in the earth. The energy is in the earth to cause the seed to express itself. There's a pattern plan in the seed. And that pattern plan dictates the vibratory rate of that seed. And the vibratory rate of that seed is going to dictate what it attracts to it. When you build the idea in your mind, that's the seed. And it will control the vibration you're in. And you will attract whatever you require for the manifestation of that seed. Let those lines represent levels of energy, levels of vibration. Every frequency is connected to the one above and the one below. Everything is energy, everything vibrates. The law of vibration decrees that everything in the universe moves. We live in an ocean of motion. There is no such thing as staying where you are. You're moving, makes no mistake about it. Every frequency is hooked up to the one above and the one below. Do you know what that really means? We're all connected. Everyone knows this, and damn near everyone has at least one phone. We seem to have a basic understanding of this. When it comes to our life, we get lost. This is real. I do this. Every day I do this. A level of vibration is referred to as a frequency, and we think on frequencies. Now this is so important that you get this. You think on frequencies. That's the frequency you're thinking on. That's symbolic of the frequency you're thinking on, and that will dictate the results that you're going to get. That's where I want to go. That's normal in life. You know where you are, but I want to go there. That's what I really want. Doesn't matter where you are. And I'm going to do that as soon as I get the money. This is where we get screwed up. I'm going to do that as soon as the kids are out of school. Well, you're waiting for the results to change, and pretty soon the decision fades. And before long, the goal, it goes where the decision went. What's the problem here? Well, you're thinking here on this frequency. You're on that frequency and you're trying to get FM music. You're screwed, you'll never get it. They cannot broadcast FM music on an AM band. It won't work. You're thinking down there and you're saying, but I want to go up here. Listen, if you want to get that, you've got to understand that you've got to think on that frequency. And if you're going to do that, you've got to make a committed decision. When you make a committed decision, you're going to do it regardless. The old way of thinking's got to go. Committed decision, you've got to let the old way of thinking go. Then you've got to think and act like the person you want to become. He's quitting his job, you've got to be out of your mind. You got a family, you know, you've got to be responsible. Do you know the only prerequisite to getting what you want is you got to want it. You know, we've got a mental faculty called perception. You shift your perception and you change your realistic. You talk to anybody that's high in finance and they'll tell you the money is never the problem. Ideas are the problem. You got the right idea, you'll always find the money. Want is the only prerequisite for making a decision. What do you really want? Listen, money goes where it's invited and it stays where it's welcome. Come. I'm going to take you step by step through what I learned, and it took me 9 years to learn it. I could sit down with anyone and show them how to become a millionaire. If we were to photograph your body with Curlian photography, that's the way you would look. Your body would be a glistening, radiating, gleaming form. You're a mass of energy in a high speed of vibration. You operate on a very high frequency. You're moving so fast you appear to be still. But I'm going to tell you, nothing about you is still. It's moving at a very, very high speed. Look here for a moment. Let all these lines represent levels of vibration. There's an infinite number. Every frequency is hooked up to the one above and the one below. There's no line of demarcation where one stops and the other starts. Now, if you understand this in depth, that means everything in this universe is connected. There is only one power. It manifests in many different forms. We think we're different. We only appear to be different. We're not different at all. We're all exactly the same. We just do different things. We think different thoughts. We're involved in different ideas, but we are all connected. And I think when we really get that straight in our mind, a lot of the problems that we have go away. Let's suppose that X represents where you are. That represents you, where you are in your life right now. You have the ability to take a very honest look at your life and see how you got there. Everything that's happened is recorded in your mind. And you can look back and you can see how one thing led to another, which led to another, which led to another. You met this person, you met that person, you moved here, you lived there, you went to work here. And you'll see in your mind how you got to where you are, because you can look back at it. Now, when you go to look ahead, you say, that's where I want to go. This is the dream that comes into your mind, and you quickly get rid of it because you don't know how to get there. When we think of something, when it comes to our mind, let's understand nothing is created or destroyed. We've tuned into something that already is. And rather than let it go, what we want to understand is that there is a place. It's a frequency that we tuned in on, way beyond where we're at in our own consciousness. This is real. This isn't just some fancy idea. Well, we've got to understand that when we see something, it's not just something, it's a place. There is a place. It's a frequency. When we get on that frequency, all kinds of things start to happen. This new state of conscious awareness becomes our home from which we view the world. Act like the person you want to become. When you move on to a higher frequency, you're going to be communicating with a world that's totally foreign to and beyond the reach of your five senses. Now, until we start studying this, we go by what we hear, see, smell, taste, touch. We've got to get away from that. We really have to start to understand. When you move on to a higher frequency, that's when you start using your higher faculties. You don't go by what you hear, see, smell, taste, touch. You go by what you can see in your mind nobody else can see. Now, there is a place. Steve Jobs made it very clear. He said, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust the dots will somehow connect in the future. When you start, everything will start to happen for you. And one thing after another will start to happen. And pretty soon, you find yourself there. It's done. And when you get there, you're going to start to become aware that you could have gone there. You see, when this crazy feeling takes over inside, you've got to understand what is taking over. You got to understand what's causing you the problem. And you have to take control. You cannot let the paradigm control you. That's where that feeling inside, it starts to create doubt. It starts to create fear, all kinds of nonsense. You've got to understand, it's like a person inside that's against you. That's really what it's like. It's like a person that's inside talking to you, and it's against you. It's a program, it's a paradigm, and it talks to your consciousness when you're alone, when you're laying in bed or getting up in the morning, or maybe when you're standing in the shower. And it's telling you why you can't do it. You don't have the money, you don't know how. You're never going to get somebody to believe in this. All those ideas are going to flow into your mind. That's what the paradigm does to you. You can ask yourself, what do you really want to do? The future must become the present in the imagination of the one who would wisely and consciously create circumstance. We must translate vision into being, thinking of into thinking from. Imagination must center itself upon some state and then view the world from that state. That's what we're talking about here. To move to a higher frequency, you've got to consent. In other words, your decision. I couldn't do it. I couldn't take you there. Only you can go there. Then you have to adapt to the ideas and feelings the new frequency represents. Then you're operating from intuition. You're not operating from what you can see with your eyes because it's not manifest yet.